Welcome to Mrs. Park's Algebra 1 class. This is section 1 of chapter 2, writing equations. Okay, writing equations. So why do we learn how to write equations? All right, here's a real-life example of why and when we would use this. The Daytona 500 is widely considered to be the most important event of the NASCAR circuit. The distance around this track is 2.5 miles, and the race is a total of 500 miles. We can write an equation to determine how many laps it takes to finish the race. Write verbal expressions. To write an equation, identify the unknown for which you are looking and assign a variable to it. Okay. So first thing, you're going to identify the unknown. Okay. What are you looking for? And then you're going to assign a variable. That means you're going to give it a variable. A variable, remember, is just a letter. Any letter of the alphabet can be a variable. Then write the sentence as an equation. Look for the keywords such as is, or is as much as, is the same as, or is identical to, that indicate where you should place the equal sign. Consider the Daytona 500 example above. Okay, the words were, the length of each lap times the number of laps is the length of the race. So we're going to remember the first thing you do, you're going to assign a variable. So let L represent the number of laps, L for laps in the race. You can use any variable. It does not have to be L. It can be X. It can be A. But ideally, you would choose a variable, a letter that would have some relevance to the word. Okay, so laps starts with L, so they put L. All right, so equation, here's the equation. 2.5 times L, number of laps, equals 500. Here's another example. Translate sentences into equations. Translate each sentence into an equation. 7 times a number squared, okay, so 7 times a number, okay, I don't know what number you're talking about, but a number squared, here's that letter, here's that word, keyword, is, that's where the equal sign is going to be, 5 times the difference of K and M. Okay, so you're just going to write this out. 7, okay, so the letter 7, times means multiply, a number, they gave N for number, squared, this number is squared, so here's a square, is equal sign, 5 times, so 5, there's a multiplication, the difference of K and M, so K minus M, and that's going to be times 5. So you rewrite this long equation, shorten it in length, so 7n, 7 times n squared, 7n squared, equals 5 times k minus m. Here's another example. 15 times a number subtracted from 80 is 25. You can rewrite the verbal sentence so it is easier to translate. 15 times the number subtracted from 80 is same as 80 minus 15 times the number. Okay, so here 15 times a number. Okay, we'll use n for number. This is subtracted from 80, and that's going to equal 25. So they're saying instead of just reading this, you can just translate it and say 80 minus 15 times a number. Okay. So here we're going to rewrite this 15 times n, and you're going to write it as 15n. So now you have 80 minus 15n equals 25. Okay, here's your turn. So this is the time you pause the video. Make sure you should have started the video with a paper and pencil, name of the video lesson, your name and date, and now it's the time to pause the video and write 1A and 1B and go ahead and do those two problems and come back when you are done. Okay, welcome back. Okay, here's a real world link. So in 1919, Britain and France offered a flight that carried 2 passengers at a time. Now there are approximately 45,000 flights each day in the US carrying hundreds of passengers on each flight. So back then in 1919, they carried only 2 passengers at a time. So that's a big difference from how many they carry today. Okay, so here is the actual question. Refer to the information at the left, well, what we just read. In how many days will 180,000 flights have occurred in the United States? The information given in the problem is that there are approximately 45,000 flights per day in the United States. We are asked to find how many days it will take for 180,000 flights to have occurred. Okay, so write an equation. Okay, 450,000 times number of days, you let it be D for number of days, equals 180,000. So really it's simple, you just need 180,000 divided by 45,000, but we're writing an equation for it first. Okay, and we're all familiar on how to solve one-step equations. Okay, so this means multiply, opposite multiplying or divide by 450,000 on each side. So you have D equals 4. So how do you check your answer? So when you find your answer, you're going to substitute an original equation here. Instead of D, you're going to put 4. So 45,000 times 4. Does that equal 180,000? Yes, it does. So that means your answer is right. All right, here is your turn, number 2. Okay, here's a question about government. There are 50 members in the North Carolina State Senate. This is 70 fewer than the number of North Carolina House of Representatives. How many members are in the North Carolina House of Representatives? So I'm not asking you to just give me an answer. I need you to write the equation, show me how you solved it, and then give me the answer. So go ahead and do that and return when you're done. Okay, welcome back. All right, here's another example, writing a formula. This involves geometry. Translate the sentence into a formula. Okay. The area of a triangle equals the product of 1/2 the length of the base and the height. Okay, so we're going to write the formula, translate this whole sentence into a formula. All right, the words. Area of a triangle. Okay, we don't know what that is, so we're going to put A for area. Here's that keyword equals, that means you put equal sign. So A equals product. This means multiply. So what are we multiplying? 1/2 the length of the base and the height. So base and height are the lengths that we're talking about here. So 1/2 of the length of base and height. So for base, we're going to put B, and for height, we're going to put H. Oops. All right, so 1/2 times B times H is what we have. So A equals 1/2 BH. So here is your final answer. Your formula is A equals 1/2 BH. That means 1/2 times B times H. All right, here's your turn, number 3. Go ahead and do number 3 and come back when you are done. All right, welcome back. Write sentences from equations. If you are given an equation, you can write a sentence or create your own word problem. So translate equation into sentences. Okay, so in this case, you are given the equation, and now you're going to write out the sentence. 6z minus 15 equals 45, sorry. 6z, 6 times z minus, or you can say subtract, or take away, 15 equals, or you can say is equal to, or is identical to 45. So these problems, you'll probably have, everybody's answer will probably look different because you could use different words. Because equals, it's the same thing as is or identical to. There's a lot of words that you can use. All right, another example. Y squared plus 3x equals W. Okay, so in the textbook it says the sum of y squared and 3 times x is W. You could have also said y to the second power added to 3x equals W. So you see how we can write there's different ways of writing each sentence. All right, here's your turn number 4. So these two problems, everybody's will look different. So go ahead and do numbers 4A and 4B. Okay, here are a few more problems that we can do together. So let's do a few together. 3 times r less than 15 equals 6. So a lot of students get this part confused. Less than 15. So that means there's a 15, subtract 3r. That means 3r is less than 15 equals 6. All right. Let's do number 4. Half of j, so that's 1/2 j, minus 5. In this case, it's minus 5. Okay, don't get confused. It's not 5 minus 1/2 j, it's 1/2 j minus 5 is, that means put equal sign. Sum means add, k and 13. So k plus 13. Okay. 3/4 of w plus 5 is 1/2 of w increased by 9. Okay, so 3/4 of w, so 3/4 w plus 5 is, that means equal, 1/2 of w, 1/2 w, increased by 9, that means plus 9. Okay, okay, hopefully you're getting the hang of it. Okay, go ahead and do your turn. No, this is actually, sorry, your turn. Number, let me go back and make sure. That should be 5A and B. So just label it 5A, and this will be 5B. Okay, so go ahead and do those problems, and that's the last slide for this video. So when you're done, you are done. So hand in your work. Nice job. Thanks for watching.